Hi guys, in this video I'm going to debunk the refutation of Ken Miller's irreducible complexity. I wrote a paper about it and I'm going to read it for you. The topic is irreducible, not complexity, but jackassplexity. Ken Miller argued against the irreducible complexity of a mousetrap by making a 4-part, 3-part, 2-part, and 1-part mousetrap. And he said, and I quote, "The mousetrap is a perfect argument for evolution because it shows how the parts of what is supposedly an irreducible complex machine actually can be used for other purposes." End quote. His argument in a nutshell is that the molecular machines in a cell could have evolved. The method of evolution is through natural selection. His argument has two sides. Side 1 is called the real order uses of the parts of a mousetrap. Side 2 is called how it relates to evolution. Let us examine side 1. Ken Miller must learn to go and catch real mouse with his different part mousetraps. Bring us the evidence that it does, then this part of the argument will have validity. As for the parts having other uses, yes, I agree they do. Let's look at side 2, how it relates to evolution. This side of the argument has two parts. Part 1, did evolution happen inside a cell? Part 2, can natural selection produce the evolution in a cell? Can natural selection produce evolution inside a cell? Part 1. Did evolution happen inside a cell? Two of the leading evolutionists in the world had this to say on that question. A quote from Richard Dawkins from the book The Blind Watchmaker, page 229. And I quote, "For example, the Cambrian strata of rocks, vintage about 600 million years, are the oldest ones in which we find most of the major invertebrate groups, and we find many of them already in an advanced state of evolution the very first time they appear. It's as though they were just planted there without any evolutionary history." End quote. Quote from Stephen J. Gould, and I quote, "The Cambrian explosion occurred in a geological moment, and we have reason to think that all the major anatomical designs may have made their evolutionary appearance at that time. Not only the phylum Chordata itself, but also all its major divisions." End quote. Let me explain what they are saying. They believe that during the Cambrian explosion, all life came into existence as complete creatures. So therefore, there was no evolution inside a cell. A quote from Ken Miller from the video Ken Miller talks about the bacteria flagellum, and I quote, "Since natural selection does have to work gradually, it can't put 20, 25, 26 proteins knowing what will eventually happen, because natural selection is blind," which is indeed absolutely true. End quote. He was talking about the formation of the bacteria flagellum through evolution. Miller's argument is against intelligent design. In talking about the evolution of the bacteria flagellum, he was trying to show that natural selection could have started with a molecular syringe and end up with the flagellum without intelligence. According to Darwin, selecting the bad parts to throw and adding up the good. There are many problems with that argument. The first problem which molecular machine would be doing the flagellum's work in the meantime. That means that while the bacteria flagellum is evolving, which other molecular machine would take its place? And since natural selection is blind, how much millions of years would it take to build such a motor when the cell needs it now? There are other implications, such as how much parts would have to be wasted before even one good part could be selected. And since natural selection has no guide, how would it even know how to make the right parts? And since there is no intelligence, how can it fit the parts properly? The argument that he won in court, he is correct on that point. The parts can have other uses, but winning in court is not the same as winning in real life. His whole purpose for the debate was to prove that intelligent design does not happen. But that part of the argument failed, and it failed terribly. This is what I call irreducible, not complexity, but jackassplexity. What is irreducible jackassplexity? It is presenting a complex argument with an original goal, and when you cannot reach that goal, you twist it halfway through to prove something else. He started with the goal to prove that intelligent design is wrong and ended up proving that the parts of a machine have other uses. So that is not proving intelligent design is wrong. Well, I hope to hear your feedback on that, because Ken Miller's argument has no basis in reality. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.